Living in a modern developed country, we're increasingly protected from the harsh realities of life that afflicted previous generations. So that when it comes to pregnancy and childbirth, and in the UK there were more than 700,000 live births in 2008, the chances of the mother dying are pretty low. Of course, that's not to say that tragedies don't happen, but for example in Iceland, the rate of maternal mortality is now virtually zero. I'm Crawford Logan, and I travelled recently to a place well outside my comfort zone, a place where hospitals are few and far between, where in rural areas most travel is by horse or by donkey, and a country where in some regions, for every 50 live births, one mother will die. Afghanistan.
After 30 years of war and internal conflict, much of it fueled by the interests of foreign powers, Afghanistan seems to tremble permanently on the edge of an abyss. This is a poor place. I've seen it. Literacy levels are low, the average life expectancy is no more than 44 years, but perhaps most shockingly of all, Afghanistan has the second highest rate of maternal mortality in the world. In the relatively peaceful province of Balkh, of which Mazar-e-Sharif is the capital, lies the district of Charkint. And it's here, in 10 villages, that HealthProm, a small charity with 13 years' experience of working in Central Asian countries, has set itself the formidable task of meeting Millennium Development Goal 5, that is, the reduction of maternal mortality by 3/4 by the year 2015, while at the same time also reducing the number of newborn deaths. So let's make a journey to the village of Sharsha in Charkint and see what life's like.
It's a bright spring morning. Under a strong sun and a cloudless sky, the mountains around Sharsha at 3,000 feet look like an idyllic destination. Charkint has been poppy-free for several years, so it's green shoots of wheat that are bringing the slopes to life. But life is hard and very basic. For many villages, even a well like this would be a luxury undreamt of. Tractors are a rarer sight than wrecked Soviet tanks, so the land is worked using horses, donkeys and water buffalo, and families may spend long periods away from their homes, especially at harvest time. This man is arriving in Sharsha with his horse, laden with wheat, to make a delivery to the miller. Having diverted the mill race using stones, the miller will grind the corn using techniques not seen in Western countries for many generations. And while in summer temperatures may soar above 40 degrees centigrade, in winter they can fall below -15. The remotest mountain villages can be cut off for weeks at a time in winter by up to a metre of snow. In spring, roads and tracks may be blocked or buried in mud. As the furthest of the 10 villages is 5 hours on foot from Sharsha, this presents the HealthProm project with a major challenge. On a good day, the roadside may look inviting enough for a picnic, but the surface may look like this. And on a bad day, it may look like this. Sharsha is the seat of the district governor and enjoys amenities impossible to imagine in most outlying communities. The school and its teacher are thriving. Girls are attending classes. Money has been made available to install a proper tap, ensuring clear water. And as well as small shops for household needs and clothing materials, there's also a pharmacy. This complements the tireless work of the health clinic head doctor, Dr. Habib, and his small staff, which includes 2 midwives and a vaccinator. So what's the story so far of HealthProm's involvement in Charkint district? Having carried out initial appraisal of problems and needs in the various villages, the clearest sign of HealthProm's commitment is the construction of a $25,000 accommodation block next to the health clinic in Sharsha. Land was given by a local villager, and following the planning stage, the building was already taking shape at the onset of winter. Work resumed when snow melted, and as summer approached, the roof was on, the site was busy, and plastering and joinery work continued apace. A further month or so, and the block was a glittering white mark in the landscape. But buildings are nothing without people.
In partnership with Bakhtar Development Network, HealthProm has recruited 4 facilitators trained and supervised in Mazar-e-Sharif. They live in the new accommodation block in Sharsha and travel to the outlying villages. How successfully they play their part will be vital in achieving the aims of the project.
As well as listening to villagers' concerns and trying to elicit solutions, female facilitators are setting up safe motherhood groups in each village to galvanize women to find their own solutions to their community's health problems, while their male counterparts try to win the cooperation of village elders and other men.
Hemorrhage, infection, obstructed labour. 3 of the main causes of maternal mortality which could be swiftly reduced by access to better education, hygiene and transport.
Assistance with the health service and access to it could enable people to pull themselves out of poverty, and in future there will be a need for training of other skilled practitioners. As most births take place at home, often on bare earth floors, HealthProm is providing clean birth kits to help prevent infection. These include squares of plastic and cotton, a bar of soap, thread to tie the cord, and a razor blade to cut it, both sterilized. This woman is well. Imagine a woman with severe complications, probably in great pain, being transported for several hours on horseback or by donkey in all seasons and all conditions. To try and ease these ordeals, a suitable vehicle has been bought by HealthProm, partly for use by facilitators, which can be easily adapted to carry patients.
HealthProm is a learning organisation. A commitment to improving lives means listening to those affected and helping them to implement their own solutions, not imposing them from the outside. HealthProm doesn't come with all the answers, but with the confidence that the villagers, literate or not, and with just a little encouragement, are the best people to discover what works best for them.
My love, peace to your dreams, peace to your children.
These pictures are a vivid testimony to the work which has already been done, and villagers have firmly identified for themselves not only the factors causing maternal mortality, for example hard labour in the fields, the lack of a decisive voice for women in the family, but also the effects on the motherless children, most probably condemned to a life of poverty and illiteracy. And if the goals can be achieved in this province of Balkh, it might, who knows, throw down a challenge to the rest of this troubled land, so that one day safe motherhood may be the hope and expectation of all the women of Afghanistan.
كيف الشناشيل كيف الصغار كيف الشناشيل كيف الصغار سلاما Peace to the world, peace to